good. Brain.
Something like that. Somebody's green. See if the boss wants to.
Oh,
Well, the hockey boss.
got it.
I do have, but I don't know.
No, I
It's just if you plug it in, it comes out.
Nothing but trouble. How do you presentation go last night?
good. I think. Oh, way too fast.
I don't know, bowling.
Yeah, you know, Amy couldn't get it on the
So we cannot have everyone I'll bring you the video.
I got 19 things going on. Yeah. I got 19 things going at once. I was going so fast that if you do it too fast, it'll time out. You're like, I couldn't register that last couple points. I'm like, this isn't normally a problem. Because you don't add 19 shots in a goal or a penalty 5 things at once. I don't worry about this. But a few benches on, yes.
And you wanna know why I say that? Because she's an A.
Can't read it. I get this thing that Mollenkamp's got, his X spot. I got it.
Are you messing with it?
Just about anyone should do it now. So, you know, whether
I know how to slap a sticker on the back of it like that. They make that.
it's fun, you just pop it down. Just walk away, it's on the screen.
They enjoy it.
That's what everyone says. I'm always afraid I'm going to offend someone. They're like, oh, we like to hear you talk. I'm like, just afraid that people that don't like to hear me talk will speak up and tell me.
Whoever you chip on the ice. Puck gets iced. They've been on the ice 10 seconds. It's too long to get off. I'm like, Jason's not frustrated with Xander's ice time right now.
I have no filter. I'm unapologetic that way. So
It might even be
So what do eventually if somebody would donate, or someone volunteer for that stuff? That's how it happened last year. Yep. Don't you be looking for Alright.
and I really, I don't want to.
How are we? Good question. I have no idea who the rest are. We need to just make okay. Kevin says thank you. A little louder.
He said he had a better angle. It was fine.
Oh, okay, camera, but it's not. If you're not talking, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And obviously, with what it changes. I mean, podcast.
Testing.
Right. You get an inflection. Yeah, they're coming through the right side. Now we'll pay attention. Trust, come on! Hey. Right.
I'm watching it behind me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know.
No, I get it.
I know Xander has something going on. We're fine there. What's going on back here?
Right.
Like, who's coming with him?
And the first year I did it a couple times even for Team Midwest. I'm going to run the camera. Can I do commentary in the computer? Nope, that's just not going to work.
Could be the 7th and 6th. Want me to tell you where it's going?
Good evening, hockey fans, and welcome to tonight's Midwest High School Hockey League broadcast. The JV game between the home Cedar Rapids Rough Riders and the visiting Dubuque Saints. Got a minute left in warm-ups here. We'll be underway shortly.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the on Ice Arena for tonight's matchup of the Dubuque Saints and your hometown Cedar Rapids Rough Riders for Midwest High School Hockey. The Dubuque Saints are coached. Cedar Rapids Rough Riders are coached by Kevin Brooks.
Just a reminder to everyone, the clock that's displayed on my scoreboard, not the clock. It's not accurate. I've opened a case with XBot. We're working on fixing it or making it go away, but until then, pay no attention to the clock in the upper left-hand corner. Looks like we'll get Brad Freihofer in net for the Saints tonight. Molenkamp on defense, joined by Anders Hill. Keys at the wing with Randall and Schrader. And we're underway. Anders Hill has in his own defensive zone, gives back to Molenkamp, sent up through the zone, just out of the reach of Keys. Now it's Hill back in the defensive zone, plays it up through the middle. Cedar Rapids controls temporarily. Cross ice pass, back out to center ice it comes. Dubuque controls there. They'll go back. Blake Schrader throws it over to Anders Hill. Up to Tyler Randall, gets it out of the zone. Cedar Rapids will reverse it back into the defensive zone. Now it's Hill up across the red line. Poked off his stick. Sent into the zone by Tyler Randall. Carries it wide. Down below the goal line, he's driven into the end boards, kicked out in front. It'll be covered, and a whistle. In net for Cedar Rapids is Maximo Montagues. We're just going to call him Max. Palmer in for the faceoff. He's got Fugger and Elliot Troush making his Saints season debut. Won by Cedar Rapids. They'll clear it out of the zone. That was Sukuchov back to get it on the icing call. Sukachov back there with Owen Troush. We'll try it again to the left of Max. Palmer in for the faceoff. Controlled by Cedar Rapids. Chipped out of the zone off the center ice. Elsie back to get it. She plays it around to the back of the boards. Just out of the reach of Owen Troush. Battle for on the far side. Troush boys going to work. Played back. That's Palmer back there. Now it's sent around to the near side. Played out through center ice, through the skates of Troush. Now back in to Owen. Owen will cycle back behind his own net. Peels out to the far side. Hard off the boards. No ice. Jack Fugger down chasing the puck. Cedar Rapids will carry it back out to neutral ice into the attacking zone. Send on net. Nice save by Freihopper to get a save on the board. Cedar Rapids walks out in front, pass to the slot, unconnected. Now they'll go back to the D again. Worked out the far side. Shot wide of the net, wraps around to the near side, and it'll squirt out to center ice. Saints will go for a change. Cedar Rapids back to collect. They'll work it back up through the middle. Turned over at the blue line. It's Lund battle for it. It's knocked back to the defense. It's Waddick back there to collect it. They'll play it back behind the net over to Anders Hill. They'll work it out the far side. Knocked back below the goal line. Cedar Rapids sends it towards the slot. Waddick picks it up. Cycles behind the net. They'll play it over to Lund. Kicked out in front. Now collected by Hill. Hill up to the middle. Lund's got it now at center ice. Into the zone. Chips it off the boards. Cedar Rapids collects. And they'll send it back out to neutral ice. Anders Hill back to get it. Hill will take it back behind his own net. Sets up the play there. Works out the near side. Played off to the far side. That's Max Orr. Shot just over the goal. On the near boards here. Poked loose by Waddick. Spins away from one. Dumps it into the zone. Maddox Mitchell comes in. Full head of steam. Presses the puck deep. Now it's fired back out by Cedar Rapids. Taken into the zone by Hill. He'll walk it to the top of the circles and dump it down low to Waddick. Waddick collects it behind the net. Tries to throw it out in front. Shot saved by the goaltender, Max. We'll get a whistle. So 11:28 left in the first period. Shots on goal are 1-0 in favor of the Saints. No, Freihopper had a save. We'll get Waddick out there with Eubanks and Mitchell. Cedar Rapids wins the faceoff. Cycles it back up the far boards. Now it's kicked back down. Just out of the reach of Maddox Mitchell. Knocked back out to center ice by the Riders. They'll take it into the attacking zone. Sending pass knocked off the puck there. Now it's back out to the point. Cedar Rapids controls, throws it down to the far corner. Molenkamp sends it behind the net. That's Meehan, I believe. It is in the corner. Waddick back to help out. Kick out in front, saved by Freihopper. Loose puck collected by Maddox Mitchell. 2 strides and he's out of the zone. Played ahead. That's Eubanks. Works it to the far corner. Fires it down low. Randall comes back to collect it behind the net. Now working to the near corner. Randall cycles back down. 36 Ethan Tees battles for the puck. Sent to the far side. Blake Schrader can't quite pull it off. Dumped in by Troush. Randall back again beyond the goal line. Sends it down low to Tees. Tees has the puck knocked back to the corner. Now it's Schrader. Works up the far side. Dumped back down the boards. Bouncing puck. Collected by Randall. He'll wheel towards the net. Fires a shot. Saved by Max. Holds on for a whistle. Over the boards comes Palmer. Fugger and Troush. They're backed by Troush and Chikocha. Palmer in for the face-off. Knocked back to Owen Troush. He'll fire it down low. From the near corner. Cedar Rapids will bring it out to the center ice. Into the attacking zone they come. Dumped on net. Caught by Freihoffer. Held on for a whistle. Got a Troush mom saying hi. Boys are doing just great. All skates are accounted for. Puck's down, Dubuque controls. Back to Waddick, who will wrap it around to the far side. Knocked out of the zone. Anders Hill back to collect it. Cycles behind his own net. Plays out to the near side to Waddick. Waddick will bring it up the near boards. Into the penalty box. Great catch by the penalty box official. Palmer will step in for the faceoff. Still out there with Troush and Fugger. Cedar Rapids controls the faceoff. All the way back deep in the defensive zone. Trying to apply the pressure. They'll work it out the far side. Held in there. Dumped on net. Wide of the net. Waddick races in, holds it into the zone. Now it's Palmer behind the net. Tries to center it. Big hit applied there. Elliot Troush with a nice poke check. Wheels towards the corner. Cedar Rapids will pitchfork it out to center ice. Anders Hill has it temporarily there. Feeds it into Troush. Cedar Rapids counters. Cedar Rapids hoping for a stick to the face. That's why we wear masks at this level. Baxter heads to the bench. Icing and Dubuque will bring a face-off to the right of Freihoffer. Wyatt Powell out there. Looks like he'll take the face-off. He's flanked by a bunch of players I can't identify from here. Shot blocked by Powell. Played down. That's Molenkamp along the boards. Tries to feed it up. Kick back behind the net. That's Carter Meehan in the corner. Cycles back over to Carter Molenkamp. Battle on the near boards, back near the goal line. Meehan back to get it. They'll try and bring it up the near side again. 23 is land and run. Sends it to the far side. Max Orr chases it down over there. Knocked around behind the Cedar Rapids net. And it comes back out to center ice, just off the stick of Molenkamp. Meehan back to get it. Meehan will play it over to Molenkamp. Molenkamp ahead to Lund. Kicks it off to Powell. Knocked back temporarily. They'll work it back up through center ice. Lund's got it there. Powell digs it out, takes it into the zone. Cedar Rapids with the quick counter. Back to Meehan. Spinning pass, drops off to Cedar Rapids. Shot, saved by Freihoffer. Cedar Rapids player gets a little too close for comfort, checking to make sure Freihoffer had it. And the big guns of Carter Molenkamp shows them who's boss. Speaking of good guns, Maddox Mitchell steps onto the ice. He's got Waddick and Eubanks out there with him. Puck's down. Controlled by Cedar Rapids. Loose puck in the goal. So the Riders jump out to a 1-0 lead. Loose puck in the slot. Freihoffer went down just a shade early, and they snuck by him on the left side. Shots are 4-3 in favor of the Riders. 7:38 left in the first period. We got Tyler Randall out there. Tees and looks like Blake Schrader on the far side. Dumped in by Cedar Rapids. Troush back to get it.
Dylan Lorenzen, assisted by number 85, Mitchell Nye.
Big hit there by Troush. Puck battled along the far boards. Centering pass picked up by Elsie. She'll poke it loose there. Now fed in by Tees. He'll work it down the near side. Tries to dump it into the zone. Still has it on the near boards. Knocked over to Randall. Randall takes a shot to the head. And he'll get the call. So the Saints will head to the power play. Cedar Rapids will get a 2-minute call for cross-checking is what Ethan Fox has signaled. That's not Ethan Fox, that's Ian Carlson. So the Saints power play unit will be Wyatt Powell, Tyler Randall, Blake Schrader, Jensen Hill, or that's Anders Hill, and 36, who is Ethan Tees. Puck's down, controlled by Cedar Rapids. They'll wrap it around the far side. Hard off the boards, it'll go to the legs of the ice. Fly Harper will stop it below the goal line, and Randall picks it up there. Drops it back. That's Anders Hill now behind the net. He'll get us going. Carries it up across the blue lane through center ice. Takes it to the wide side, cuts back to the middle. Knocked in further by Wyatt Powell. And Dubuque's going to take a penalty now. Rough on Anders Hill. Anders Hill looks puzzled as to what he's done. So 4-on-4 hockey for a minute 30. So that was a good big power play after that. Face have to come to the right of Brant Freihofer. Ethan T sent off for what looks like a faulty neck guard. So we'll get Schrader out in this place. Saints win the faceoff. Carter Molenkamp back behind the net. 4-on-4. He'll bring it up the near side to Randall. Randall sends it off the boards. He's got Blake Schrader on the blue line.
2 minutes for Ruffin.
Battle along the near boards. Randall chases down to the corner. The Riders will try and cycle it back out the near side. Held in. Randall loses an edge and takes the Rider player out. Chipped all the way back. Riders will come back 2-on-2. Can't quite hold him to the pass. Elsie Sukuchov over to get it. This is the puck. He takes a hard board. Randall advances up the ice into the attacking zone. Cuts across to the slot. Off his stick into the corner it goes. Now works up the near boards. Delayed whistle. Now we'll get the Riders penalty. Head contact is what we're going to call on Cedar Rapids, so that'll be a 2-10. If I'm being honest, I'm not sure that's an accurate call. Elsie just lost an edge. It went down. The Rider player was already in the process of hitting her and did make contact with the head. It's one of those questions, was it intentional? Doesn't really matter if the intent was there or not. Regardless, the Cedar Rapids player will spend a better part of a period in the box. Dubuque will be on the power play here. So a little 4-on-3 action. Puck's down. Back to Lund. Held in by Dubuque. Fed down to the corner. Elliot Troust picks it up there. Cuts towards the middle. Shot wide of the net. Gets his own rebound. Now it's knocked back. Troust walks the goal line. Spins back to the corner. Plays back to Lund. Lund cross ice pass to no one. Squirts out of the zone. Carter Molenkamp goes back to Lund. Lund now tries to feather it up. Cedar Rapids will take it away. Huger takes it back. The 3-on-2 the other way. Huger with Lund. Into the slot. Shot wide. Collected on the near boards. Huger off the boards. Walks it again to the slot. Comes off his stick. We're 4-on-4 now. For 20 seconds. Huger walks it to the near side. Across the zone, line he goes. Shot. Goal! So 4-on-4 goal. Jack Huger with a nice move there. So 4:43 left in the first period. Scores tied 1-1. Shots tied 4-4. 8 seconds left on that Saints penalty, and they'll get a little 1-minute power play to go along with that. Ethan Tees brings it up through the zone. Drop pass there at the blue line. It's knocked away by Cedar Rapids. Forced deep down into the corner. Cedar Rapids now tries to bring it out. Held in by Blake Schrader at the blue line. He drops it off for Tyler Randall. Randall D to D over to Anders Hill. Walks it back towards the middle, but leaves it off for Blake Schrader. Back to a 5-on-4 power play here for Dubuque. Anders Hill, far side. Tyler Randall shot from the faceoff. That goal. So the Saints stretch it to 2-1. On the back of the power play goal there. Tyler Randall. So we're back to 5-a-side. We get Waddick out for the faceoff. He's got Eubanks out there with him, and towering Maddox Mitchell on the far side. Sukichoff back to get it. He's got Meehan back there with him. Puck kicks out to the slot. Loose puck. Collected by Eubanks. He'll try to send it going to the ice. Maddox Mitchell can't outstride it. Austin has some words of wisdom for Brady Eubanks there. Something along the lines of don't do that again. Waddick again with the faceoff. Wins it over to Elsey. Elsey tries to send it back up the near boards. No ice. Maddox Mitchell got a piece of it. He'll run the Cedar Rapids player down. Help him out behind the net. Poke loose there. Held in momentarily. Now they'll get it around Maddox. Sent in by Waddick, collected by the Riders. They'll play it back out to center ice. Sent over to Meehan. He'll chip it ahead. Loose puck, Waddick picks it up. He's in the slot. Shot! Just wide of the net. Caroms around to the far boards where Meehan collects it in front of the Cedar Rapids bench. Now sent in. Cedar Rapids back out to center ice. Sukichoff there to get it. Suk plays it over to Eubanks. Eubanks will force it into the zone. Picked up loose puck there by Elliot Troush. Fires it high and wide. Now it's Owen Troush back in the defensive zone. Walks to the far side. Drops off there for Elsey. Elsey plays over to Elliot Troush. Now played ahead. Palmer dumps it in. Elliot Troush to chase him down on the far side. Gets just by him. Played back to Owen Troush at the red line. It'll go over to Fugger. Fugger sends it into the zone. Cedar Rapids kicks it off to the corner. Wrapped around to the far side. Troush can't quite hold it in. Cedar Rapids now going the other way. Loose in the slot. Skates to the far side. Nice save by Freihofer. Loose puck again through the slot. Cedar Rapids can't collect. It comes back out to neutral ice. They'll go D to D. Elliot Troush, head of steam, cuts it loose in the slot. Loses the stick. Grab the stick by the puck. There you go. Loose just outside the blue line. Palmer plays it over to Troush. Back to Molenkamp. Just out of the reach. Molenkamp collected by Cedar Rapids. Stupid green jerseys. Molenkamp now up the near boards. Works it out to center ice. Takes it wide. Drives to the far side. Top of the circle. Hits the brakes. Looks for help. He's got Wyatt Powell coming off the bench. Powell hits it with a knee hockey stick and doesn't quite get the results he was hoping for. Now it's Cedar Rapids dumped into the zone around the back of the net. Anders Hill will pick it up there. Anders Hill will try and pick it up there. Sent back over. That's Molenkamp on the far side. Plays it ahead just off the skates of Powell. Go the length of the ice for an ice out. 2-1 here. 1:18 left in the first period. Shots on goal favor the Riders, 6-5. Wyatt Powell still out for the faceoff. He's got Lund with him. And Orr. Orr's got it at the blue line. Knocks it out to center ice. Powell's there. 2-on-1 the other way. London Powell. Powell winds up for a shot. Saved by Max, the goaltender. Holds on for a whistle. That may not be the 2-on-1 play we had in mind. Puck's down. Cedar Rapids will knock it out to center ice. Delayed icing, and we'll get the icing call. Face-off to come to the right of Max. Tyler Randall out for the faceoff. Puck's down. Won by Dubuque, but Cedar Rapids forces them out of the zone. Ethan Tees sends it back in. Chipped off the boards by Randall. He'll chase it down to the corner. Centering pass, just tipped away by Cedar Rapids. Waddick will throw it back to the corner now. Blake Schrader tries to work his way out. Cedar Rapids off the boards to the near side. Waddick knocks him back down below the goal line. Tees to the far side. Takes it away from one. Now it kicks back to Anders Hill. Doesn't quite get all of it on that shot. Ethan Tees, centering pass. Just a little too hot to handle for Blake Schrader. He'll play it back to Waddick. Waddick holds it at the blue line. Now it's forced out by Cedar Rapids. Tees back to Hill. Hill loses a man behind the net. They race it up to center ice. Through the neutral zones, picked up by Schrader, knocked below the goal line. That'll do it for our first period. Score after one, Dubuque 2, Cedar Rapids 1. Shots on goal tied at 6. We'll pause here for a minute.
At the end of the first period, it's Rough Riders 1, Dubuque Saints 2. Let's go, Rider fans. We need to hear a little sound, a little something from you here.
So we're 5-on-5 to start the second period. We'll get Tyler Randall out there with Blake Schrader, and we're waiting for them to set the clock. Now they've got it. pucks down. Controlled by Dubuque. Ethan Tees now walks to the far side. Into the zone he'll go. Back to the ice there. Blake Schrader behind the net, picks it up, centering pass. Shot saved by Max, the goaltender. Loose puck, still loose. Out to Meehan at the blue line. High shot. Takes a weird bounce behind the net. Can't quite get it out the back of the net. And we got a whistle. Randall in for the faceoff again. Pucks down. Controlled by Cedar Rapids. High off the glass. Out to center ice. Suk plays it over to Meehan. Up to Ethan Tees. Tyler Randall knocks it into the zone. Blake Schrader from the blue line. Shot high over the glass. Again on the back of the net. Plays it around. Schrader on the near boards. Back to Meehan. Meehan shot. Tipped up in front. Hits the top of the boards. Controlled by Tees. Knocked off the puck there by Cedar Rapids. They'll try and bring it up to center ice. Now they do. Dubuque controls. Back to Suk. Suk bodies her man into the boards. It's a little slow to recover there. Schrader now has it. He'll work it up the near sides. Dumps it into the zone. Picked up there by Cedar Rapids. Tyler Randall making life difficult in the corner. Wrapped around to the far side. Elliot Troush over to pick it up. Walks out to the slot. Shot. Blocked by the goaltender. Nice shot by Troush. Palmer forces the issue back below the goal line. Cedar Rapids hard up the glass. Back to Owen Troush at the blue line. Hits the brakes. Walks around one. Shot towards the net. Saved by the goaltender. Cedar Rapids will now try the far side. Chip back out. Owen Troush picks it up just outside the blue line. Chops some onions. Now it's Elliot Troush in with a head of speed. Shot hard into the chest of the goaltender for a whistle. Get some fresh legs out here. We got Wyatt Powell. Max Orr and Landon Lund. Cedar Rapids is going to try him with four, and like, yeah, you know, maybe we'll add the fifth guy. Owen Troush. Chase Molenkamp back, or Carter Molenkamp back on D. Troush holds it in at the blue line. Again, fires it towards the net, high and outside. Landon Lund picks it up on the far side, cycles it back down below the goal line. Powell's there to pick it up on the end boards. Gets it back to Lund. Lund tries to work it back to Powell. Cedar Rapids will chip it out of the zone. Go the length of the ice. No ice. Gets out the end of Owen Troush's stick. Now he tries to play it up the near side. Can't quite do it. Wrapped around to the far corner. Molenkamp there. He'll get it out to center ice. Cedar Rapids controls. Back outside the zone. Now played by Dubuque. 3-on-2 the other way. Shot blocked in front. Kick to the corner. Sent back out to center ice again. Owen Troush has got it there. Plays it ahead. Just out of the reach of Wyatt Powell. Cedar Rapids will send it back the other way. Saunders Hill ahead to Wyatt Powell. Powell across. That's Orr. Orr shot. Saved by the goaltender. Loose puck. Still in the slot. Now it's forced out to the far side. Collected by Powell there. He'll wind it down. Sent back on net. Held on by the Cedar Rapids goaltender for a whistle. Saints have hit the gas on the shots. Up now 12-6. 11:40 left in the second period. Late change for Dubuque. They made them switch back. So that happens. Obviously, the home team gets the last change. Loose puck, Watt knocks it down below the goal line. Wrapped around to the near side. Anders still has it there, knocks it back below the goal line. Played out to the far side. Eubanks knocks the man off the puck. Sukuchov knocks it low. Cleared back up by Cedar Rapids. Hits the Sanction and kicks out to center ice. Hill with a nice pull check there. Knocks it up to Maddox Mitchell. Now sent all the way into the zone. Kick back just outside. Maddox is on a delayed offside. Cedar Rapids will counter. Brought across the red line, and they'll dump it into the far corner. Elsie back to get it behind the net. She winds us up. Played ahead to Maddox. Kicked out. We'll stride it into the zone. Shot. High and wide. Weird kick though. Back out to the slot. Cedar Rapids going the other way. Cedar Rapids 3-on-2 the other way. Elsie pokes, checks the puck. Anders clears it. Now sent back to the corner. Cedar Rapids there. Wraps it out in front. Loose puck. Kicked out to the high slot. Cedar Rapids controls just inside the blue line. Sent back towards the middle. Elsie plays it to the corner. Seems to be struggling with the leg a little bit. Cedar Rapids now back up in front of their own bench. Sukuchov knocks a player off the puck. Anders into the corner. Battles two Rider players there. Puck squirts out up the boards. Now it's worked along. Cedar Rapids back towards the net. Knocked up to Waddick. Waddick hard off the boards, off the center ice. Blake Schrader will press the issue. Cedar Rapids plays it out to the near boards, out to center ice. Across the red line he comes. Schrader with a nice back check steals the puck away. Walks it up, crosses into the zone. Shot, saved by the goaltender, and we'll get a whistle. 9:33 left in the second period. Shots 13-7 in favor of Dubuque. Randall in for the faceoff. He wins it back. Schrader gets a piece of it, drives it towards the slot. Loose puck, kick to the corner. Schrader picks it up there. It's battle for on the near boards. Sent back to Randall behind the goal line. He's knocked off the puck by Cedar Rapids. Hard off the glass. Held in by Mullenkamp though. Nice job there at the blue line. Fed down below the goal line. Randall picks it up behind the net. Works it to the far corner. Centering pass to Schrader. Backhander off the crossbar. Owen Strauss comes down from the point to hold it in. Battles for it in the corner. Schrader now from the boards. Fires it wide. Mullenkamp on the other side knocks it down to the corner. Cedar Rapids will collect it behind the net. Tries to ring it out the far side. Held in by Schrader. Now Randall battles for it in front of his own bench. Played over to Owen Strauss. Can't get a good hand on it. Sent over to Mullenkamp. Mullenkamp ahead to Randall. Randall dipsy doodles his way into the blue line. Works it down the far side. Drop pass. Nice shot. Blocked by Cedar Rapids. They'll send it out the other side. No icing as Waddick back to get it behind his own net. They'll bring it out the far side. Off the boards. Cedar Rapids dumps it back in. Anders Hill back to get it out of the near corner. Loses one. He'll work it up the near side. Cross ice pass over to Keith. Strauss fires it in. It's blocked there. Off the bench comes Jack Huger. Fires it out of play. I promise 25, 30 games into this, I'll have all the names down pat. Elliot Troush out there with Huger and Palmer. Palmer wins the faceoff back to Huger. Anders Hill sends it to the corner. Wrapped around behind the net. Troush is there. Sends it out in front. Nobody home. Waddick picks it up at the blue line. Sends it towards the net. Just wide. Troush again on the near boards. Wheels at the top of the circle. Shots deflected in front. Loose puck. Fired wide. Anders Hill now. Couple feet inside the blue line. Dumped down to the corner. Palmer chases behind the net. Cedar Rapids will try and bring it out. Gets it out to center ice. Knocked down by Waddick. He's got it there. Cedar Rapids on the near boards. Runs into all kinds of trouble. Played it back. Anders Hill's got it up through the middle. Offsides on Dubuque. They'll go back to tag up as Cedar Rapids gets a little time to play the puck from behind their own net. Up through center ice. Cedar Rapids tips it to the boards. Anders Hill back in front of the scores table. Elliot Trausch all the way down in the corner. He's got Fugger in the middle. Gets it over to him. Bounces off Fugger's stick. Loose puck. All the way back to Elsie at the blue line. Tipped in front by Palmer. And Cedar Rapids will try and bring it the other way. Hard off the boards. Sent all the way back. Meehan will try and run it down. No offside, or no icing, even though he didn't get there. Meehan now up the near side. Off the boards, up ahead. Trausch helps it in. Goes for a change. Wrapped around to the other side. Palmer and Lund there to battle for it. Knocked it down to the corner. Reversed. Wyatt Powell will race for it on the far boards. Lund kicks it back to Suk. Plays it back to Lund. Can't quite corral it at the tops of the circle. Cedar Rapids now will counter back through center ice. Played into the zone. Length of the ice for an icing. 5:52 left in the second period. Still at 2-1 in favor of your Saints. Saints have doubled up the shots. It was 6-6 after the first period. It's now 15-7. Powell stays out there for the faceoff. He's got Orr and who's ever about to pass the puck over to Meehan. Meehan tries to get it over to Elsie. Elsie wasn't quite ready for it. Now she'll work it into the zone. That wasn't offsides, Nolan. Just outside the Dubuque zone, Powell steps in for the faceoff. Puck's down, kicks over to the near side, or dumps it on net, deflected high off the glass by Max. Now Powell wheels at the tops of the circle, shot just wide of the net. Lund will battle for it on the far boards, drives his man into the boards. Chipped out to center ice, Molenkamp's got it there, plays it over to Trausch. Trausch back to Molenkamp. Molenkamp scoops it up. Squirts down the near boards. Cuts across, high slot, shot, just over the net. Now played back behind the net by Molenkamp. Powell will go in and try and force the issue. Knocked down by Orr. He'll battle for it on the near boards. Powell's got it. Wheels over across the blue line. Dumps off. Giving back to Powell. Centering. Collected by the Riders, and they'll try and go the other way. Max Mitchell off the bench. Sends it into the zone. Molenkamp's got it at the blue line, plays across to Powell, just out of his reach. Max Mitchell, one step and he's in the zone. Played back to Brady Eubanks. Eubanks put himself off sides. 4:29 left in the first period. Two to 1 still the score. Shots on goal, still 16-7. Wrapped around to the far side. Waddick's got it there, tries to knock it farther into the zone. Max Mitchell now, from the face-off dot, fires it across the crease. Waddick on the far side, scoops it up, walks it down to the face-off dot, shot wide, collected by Max the goalie. Puck down, back to Waddick. Waddick sends it into the zone. Collected there by Eubanks in the corner. Right down the back wall, kicked out, saved by the goaltender. Cedar Rapids now at the near boards, plays it back. Anders Hill up through the middle, can't quite connect to Waddick. Cedar Rapids the other way, poke check to loose. They'll dump it into the zone behind the net. Waddick back to get it. Got Eubanks all the way up. Collects it on the near blue line. Shot just wide of the net. Kicks off to the far boards. Cedar Rapids plays it the other way. For a nice save. 3:24 now left in the second period. Blake Schrader, Tyler Randall, and Ethan Tees out at the forward line. Meehan and Sukuchuk back at defense. Puck's down. Schrader knocks it below the goal line. Tees there to try and get it. The Riders will work it up the near side. Taken away temporarily. Now the Riders 2-on-3 the other way. Taken away by Dubuque. Meehan's got it now. Rolls off the end of his stick. Randall forces it across, and Blake Schneider was just a stride offside. Puck's down. Duke sends it over to Sukuchov. Tees carries it into the zone. Loose puck. Kelsey dumps it down deep. Tyler Randall will try and pressure it. Cedar Rapids works it around to the near side. Back to Meehan. Blistering shot towards the net. Sent the length of the ice for a nice. 2:41 left in the second period. Randall in for the faceoff. Puck's down, controlled by Dubuque. Sends it back behind the net. That's Ethan Tees battling for it in the corner. He's got Randall there to help him out. Up the boards it comes. Cedar Rapids will try and chip it around Meehan. Gets in the way and makes life difficult. Sukuchov back there. Bouncing puck just below the goal, or behind the goal. Battled there. Elsie will walk it out. Gives it out to the far side. It's Tees over on the far side. Sent out in front of the Cedar Rapids bench. 2 minutes left in the period now. Cedar Rapids plays it ahead. Into the zone it goes. Controlled by Meehan there. Over to Elsie. Elsie plays it ahead. Back over to Meehan. Meehan a little room to operate. He'll walk it up to center ice. Dumps it into the zone. Blake Schrader races to get it in the corner. Knocks it down low. That's Jack Krieger hot off the bench. Trying to run it down on the near boards. Orange Trust sent towards the net. Riders have it. Kicks it back to the blue line. Held in by Molenkamp. Now work out to the slot. Backhander. Saved by Maximo. .126 left in the second period. Palmer, Elliot Troush, Jack Krieger out. Puck's down, controlled by Cedar Rapids. They'll play it around the back of the net. Owen Troush on the boards, kicks it down below the goal line. Freight trains the man waiting for the puck. Loose puck out to the middle, shot high and wide. Troush boys have decided to switch it up. Elliot back on defense. Owen, little lost puppy up at forward. Elliott now, full head of speed, chips it off the boards, gets it out of the zone. Cedar Rapids counters the other way. Out there for the faceoff. He's got Max Orr with him, and Lund on the far side. Played back, jumps over the stick of Molenkamp. He'll chase it all the way back to the corner. Tries to play it up the boards. Powell helps it out all the way out to the blue line. Shot hard and wide. Karam's up out of play. 40 seconds left now in the second period. Charles will head off. Powell's still out there for the faceoff. Puck's down. Far side. It's battled forward by Mullenkamp. Can't quite get a piece of it. Powell back to get it. Plays it up the near boards. That's Orr. He'll work it out to center ice. Cedar Rapids has it in their defensive zone. Walks around one. Played out to the middle. Orr steals it there. He works it on the far boards. Tries to get it down low. It's taken away by Cedar Rapids temporarily. Now sent towards the net. Powell will be the first one to it. Centering pass. Jumps over a one stick. Kicks out to the far boards. Hard off the glass. Mullenkamp works it to the blue line. Now it's Lund. 2-1, and that'll do it here on the second period. Shots on goal.
All right. I don't know how these guys.
All right, Rider fans, it's time for the third period of hockey.
Just about underway here for the third period. We get Randall off for the faceoff with Tees and Schrader. Right up to center ice by Cedar Rapids. Wallach will take it back in his own defensive zone. Spins away from the net, up to the far side, plays it out to Schrader. Sent through center ice, taken away by Cedar Rapids temporarily. Now taken back. Schrader picks it up, carries it into the zone. Driven to the corner. He'll work it around the back of the net. Out to the far side, up the boards. Cuts back to the slot, gives off for Tees. Now back behind the net to Randall. Randall will work it out the far side, cycle back to Schrader behind the net. Spins around from one. Tees has got it in the corner now. Fires it at linesman Carlson, or referee Carlson. Tees shot, saved, loose puck in front. Anders Hill walks in, top of the circles, fires from the faceoff dot. Maximo, well out of his own crease, makes the save. 14:03 is the Saints lead, 2-1. We get Palmer, Huger, Big Elliott Trush up for the faceoff. Cedar Rapids wins, they'll force it out the far side. Trush takes it back at center ice, spins it towards his own net. Palmer dumps it in. Back behind the net, Cedar Rapids will wrap it out the far side. Centering puck to Huger, walks around from one, gets it off to, can't tell. Trush with the shot, save, loose puck, goal! Huger with a nice goal on the backs of the Elliott Trush shot. The Saints pull ahead to 3-1. Puck's down, Trush again. And with the head of speed across the faceoff dot, shot, saved by Maximo. Slides himself back behind the net. Twin towers of Meehan and Sukuchov back on defense. Combined height of 6'3". Puck's down, controlled by Cedar Rapids. They'll take it back behind their own net. Wrapped around to the near side. Squirts out to center ice where Elsie picks it up. Sends it through the middle to Trush. Played back ahead to Trush in front of the net. Made the mistake of trying to knock him down. Now it's played off the near boards. Hits the stanchion. Huger back to get it. Wheels back. Taken away in the slot. Goal. Cedar Rapids gets a sloppy one. Cuts the lead to 3-2. We'll get Wyatt Powell out there with Lund and 26. Max Orr. Molenkamp and Trush back in defense. Puck's down. Drilled by Cedar Rapids.
Riders goal by number 18, Owen
Camp plays it up to near boards. Cedar Rapids holds it at the blue line. Sends back to the zone. Sent out the far side by Orr. Cedar Rapids spins and plays it in front of their own bench. Big hit there. Now it's collected by Dubuque. They'll force it into the zone. Hard up the glass. Back to Molenkamp. Plays it over to Troush. Troush cycles behind his own net. Get some words of encouragement from Freihoffer. Played up the far side. Stolen there. Sent back out in front. Loose puck. Collected by Cedar Rapids in the corner. Powell walks it out. Gives off to Lund on the near glass. Knocked back in by Cedar Rapids. Scott skips over the stick of Owen Troush. Out to the slot. Nice save by Grant. Kick back out just outside the blue line. It's Max Orr racing down the far side. Gets a shot blocked by the defender. A little late hit there. The old days we called that finishing your check. They call it interference now. Knocked to the corner. Cedar Rapids has it. Played off the boards, off the center ice. Molenkamp over to Troush. Troush back to Molenkamp. Molenkamp ahead to Lund. Kicks it off to Wyatt Powell. Powell makes Maddox Mitchell skate offside. Now it's in control. Back to center ice comes Cedar Rapids. Poked loose by Waddick. Powell sends it in. He'll go for a change. Maddox Mitchell 3 strides and he's at the end zone. Knocks the puck loose. Hard off the far side. Cedar Rapids sends it. Held in by Waddick over there. Battled on in front of the boards. We're going to get a penalty. Cedar Rapids. 2 minutes for naughtiness. Or roughing. Probably roughing. So Dubuque back on the power play. Ahead 3-2 with 11 minutes left in the third period. Saints ahead on shots. 25-9. Number 9 for Cedar Rapids. We'll head to the box. That's Drake Gunkel from Cedar Rapids. Right back to the blue line. Held in there by Hill. He'll give off to Randall. Cross ice pass over to Schrader. Shot missed the net by 7 feet. Far side, Randall again down low. I believe that's Ethan Tees. Randall back to Hill at the blue line. Back over to Randall. Top of the circle shot. Wide of the net. Cams around to the near boards. Anders holds it in. Battles forward at the blue line. Cedar Rapids has it now and they'll send it to line. Brant Freihoffer over to get it. Kicks it out in front of the slot. Anders Hill picks it up there. Wheels behind his own net and he'll start us up through the zone. Cross ice pass to Randall. Randall across center ice. Into the attacking zone. Drops off for Blake Schrader. Schrader top of the circles. Peels off. Gives back to Randall. Randall now back to Anders Hill at the blue line. Off to Randall at the top of the circles. Shot. Saved by Maximo. Or whistle. 1 minute left in that power play. We'll get the 2 unit of Elliot Troush. Landon Lund. Waddick. Molenkamp. And Jack Cooper. Waddick in for the faceoff. Forces it forward. Riders control. They'll wrap it hard off the boards. Lund holds it in at the blue line. Set in front. Nobody home. Kicked off to the far boards. Elliot Troush picks it there. Walks it to the corner. Back to Lund at the blue line. Wasn't quite ready for it. Squirts out of the zone. Molenkamp now works it to the far side. He'll go back behind his own net. Start with it there. Brings it up the near side now. Right down Main Street. Drops it off. That's Troush on the far side. Full head of speed. Cuts towards the net. Nice save by Maximo for the whistle. .28 seconds left on the power play. We get Blake Schrader, Ethan Tees, Anders Hill, Tyler Randall, and Wyatt Powell on the far side there. Back to Hill at the blue line. Played off to Randall, tops of the circle. Makes a shot. Cedar Rapids collects, sends it to length. Grant Freihoffer with a nice stop in front of the net. 13 seconds on the power play. Cedar Rapids presses the issue in the corner. Cedar Rapids headed to the box. The typical palms up. What'd I do? I think we're both going. Got a hook and a hole. Pay double for that kind of action in Vegas. Probably wasn't appropriate for a high school broadcast. So offsetting penalties leaves the Saints on a 7-second power play. .9:20 left in the third period. Jack Fugger out there with Palmer and it's like Elliot Troush. Saints win the faceoff. Fugger gets it back to Meehan. Meehan keeps things interesting. Gives it off to Elsey. Over to Troush. Troush knocked off the puck. Elsey picks it up, gets it ahead. Dumped in by Palmer. Back behind the net. Elliot Troush to pick it up. Tries to walk around one. Battles behind the net. Knocked around to the near side. It'll go all the way back to the deep defensive zone.
Also had a penalty on number 20, Gavin Fry, 2 minutes for hooking.
So we're back to 5-a-side now. Offsetting penalties withstanding. Palmer in for the faceoff. Still has Troush and Palmer. Played around to the near corner. Pulled off the boards by Elsey. Knocked down to Palmer. Still battled on the boards. They'll work it to the corner. Cedar Rapids walks away with it. Out to center ice. High off the glass. Down below the goal line. Meehan back to get it. That's a boarding. Or checking from behind. Really take your pick. Either way, the game's over for you. I may have called it a rock. Boarding. 10 minutes. Good news. We beat the whole team to the showers. Bad news. Someone still has to come sit in the box. So the Saints back in the power play, 8:24 left in the period. We get Schrader, Fugger, Powell, Tees, Randall. Randall in for the face-off. Wins it back. Tip back to Schrader at the blue line. Works it down low, drops it off there for Randall, sends it across to Tees. Tees back over to Randall, tips off for Blake Schrader. Schrader works it down low, spins back. He'll walk it off, drops it off there for Randall. Randall cross ice pass to Tees, rolls off his stick. Cedar Rapids will battle for it and knock it out to center ice. Schrader sends it over to Randall. Randall collects it at the tops of the circles, drops off for Palmer. Fugger. He sends it just out of the reach of Wyatt Powell. No icing there for some reason. Now it's sent out. Cedar Rapids is going to win the race. 5 Saints quickly in tow. Centering pass is taken away by Randall. Try and walk it up the near boards with the rider on his back. They'll walk it all the way down behind his own goal. Hit hard off the puck there. Powell battles for it. It's knocked back up the far boards. Collected there by Schrader. He's knocked off the puck. Cedar Rapids ping-pongs it out to center ice. Flyoffer stops it just in front of the goal line. Randall picks it up there, goes behind his net. Thinks about life choices. Leaves it there for Molenkamp. Molenkamp will walk it up to center ice. Long cross-ice pass. Off to Troush. Stolen there by Cedar Rapids. Sent out to the blue line. Held in by Molenkamp. Nice hold. Waddick works on it on the far side. Spins away from one. Tries to spin away from another. Gives it off to Troush. Strauss through the middle, tipped in front. Loose puck, goal. Who's ever in the middle there scored? I'll tell you in a second. Looks like Landon Lund. Could be Landon Lund, is Landon Lund. So the Saints stretch their lead 4-2 on the power play goal by Landon Lund. Waddick, Eubanks, and Mitchell out for the faceoff. Backed by Hill and Troush. The Hill and Troush that play defense. Owens got it now. Hard up the boards, just out of the reach of Maddox Mitchell. Not sure why that wasn't icing, but Maddox Mitchell there behind the puck, or behind the net. Plays off to Waddick. Waddick alone in the corner. Sends it back to Underhill from the blue line. Shot. Redeflected in front. Cedar Rapids wraps around to the far side. Troush holds it in unconventionally. Played back to the blue line. Knocked back in there by a Waddick. Squirts back out to Troush. Troush over to Hill. Still a shoving match going on the far side. The players hadn't realized the puck had gotten away. And we got an offside call. 5:52 left in the third period. Saints up 4-2. Tyler Randall in for the faceoff. He'll be flanked by ECTs and Blake Schrader. Twin towers of Sukuchov and Meehan back in defense. Stopped there behind the net by Freihoffer. Kicks over to Meehan in the corner. Breaks it out. Gets it up to Schrader. Schrader plays it ahead to Randall. Randall races it into the zone. He's got Tees in the center. Loses an edge. Puck kept behind the net. Cedar Rapids collects. They'll try and work it out the far side. Hard off the glass. Back to Meehan. Meehan plays ahead to Tees. Tees into the zone. Top of the circles. Fakes a shot. Drives down to the goal line. Centering pass. Just off the stick of Randall. Collected in the far corner. Blake Schrader knocks it off the puck. Collected by Meehan. Dumps off to Shoot. Shoot goes back in. Played to Tees. Tees knocked into the zone. Battled on the near boards. Now it's chipped back out by Waterloo, or Cedar Rapids. One of those teams. Played back to Molenkamp. Molenkamp works it right up Main Street. Tries to walk away from one. Spoke checks Cedar Rapids on, going the other way. Shot wide of the net, kicks out to the far side. Molenkamp hustles back and picks up the rebound. That was the Sukuchov. Plays it up the boards. All the way ahead, jumps over the head of Elliot Troush. We'll press the issue on defense. Weak pass, doesn't quite get all the way out. Cedar Rapids now forces it back out to center ice. Palmer on the far side, works it to the corner, spins back, tries to give to the D, who wasn't on the blue line. Waddick a little late to the game. Molenkamp over back to Waddick. Waddick in front of the players' bench. Ahead. Controlled by Cedar Rapids. They'll work it the other way. Molenkamp will be the first one back to this, and we'll get a nice call. 4 minutes left here in the third period. Saints with a distinct shooting advantage of 29-9 in a 4-2 lead. We'll get Wyatt Paul out there for the faceoff. He's out there with Lund and Max Orr. Orr gives back to Waddick, who dumps it down below the goal line. Wraps to the near corner where Cedar Rapids will try and collect it. High off the glass, it's still battle for the near boards. Back to Molenkamp. Forces it down the boards. Holds it in temporarily. Still battles for it just inside the blue line. Now Cedar Rapids controls. Sent out, far side. Just out of the reach of Waddick. He'll race all the way back to get it. Takes it behind his own net. Hits the brakes. Does a little reverse. Kenny Savard spinorama. Cedar Rapids controls. Walks it to the high slot. Turns, fires. Saved by Freihoffer. So that's 10 shots on goal for Cedar Rapids. 2 of them have gone in. It's 4-2 in favor of the Saints. 3 minutes and 27 seconds left. Puck's down, controlled by the Riders, back to the blue line. Baxter fires it into Lund's shin guards. On the far side now. Orr can't quite get it out, knocked back in. Owen Troush collects it behind his own net. And wraps it around the boards to the near side. Held in by Cedar Rapids, they'll send it through the slot. Played just out to center ice. Max Shore sends it to the length of the ice for icing. Exactly 3 minutes left to play here in the third period. Saints have a 4-2 lead. 3 minutes left. We might consider pulling the goalie here. And I run a broadcast, not a JV hockey team. So see what Coach Brooks has in mind. Face off back to the Cedar Rapids blue line. Loose on the near side. Now kicked off the boards. Cedar Rapids holds it at the blue line. Dumped down the far side, or near side. Owen Troush behind the net. Works it over to the corner. Swats off a few gnats that try and take the puck away from them. Now it's Waddick. Wraps around, gives it off to Hugh Banks on the near boards. Backhands it out. Maddox Mitchell sends it all the way to length and then takes 2 strides to race down the ice. Back to center ice. Saunders Hill backpedals into his own defensive zone, gives off to Troush. Troush sends it through the ice, center ice to Eubanks. Eubanks chips it into the zone. It's Maddox Mitchell, first to the puck. Cedar Rapids with a steal. They'll work it back out to center ice. Haven't had a lot of possession. If they have any intention of pulling the goaltender, it's hard to just throw it to center ice and hope for the best. But that's what they've done again. Al Suzuki-Chuck knocks it loose. Back to center ice. Cedar Rapids carries it in, dumps it in. Meehan's got it there. Plays back to Suk. Suk hard off the boards. Cedar Rapids controls in their own zone. Blake Schrader runs him down though. Played off the glass. Tyler Randall now battles in the corner for it. Cedar Rapids doesn't have a premium on controlling the puck. Send it back now to Meehan again. 1:26 left in the first period or final period. Randall tries to force it in. It's taken away there. Cedar Rapids sends it back. It's played off Meehan's stick. All the way back behind the goal. Cedar Rapids goaltender will stay in the net, down by 2. Taken away by Cedar Rapids. On the goal line. Spins, tries a backhand pass. Kicks all the way back out to center ice. Blake Schrader comes down, tries for the poke check. He's worked around by the Cedar Rapids forward. Dumped in, kicked to the corner by Freihaufer. 1 minute remaining.
1 minute.
Blake Schrader, aerial pass out to center ice. Tried to glove it down. Now Cedar Rapids. Baxter. Shot saved by Freihaufer. He'll hold on for a whistle. 44 seconds left. I'd expect a timeout. Nope, but we'll get the goaltender pulled. So the Riders will go 6-on-5 here for the last 44 seconds, or until the goal scored. Palmer into the faceoff. Cedar Rapids controls. Works it down to the corner, back behind the goal line. Molenkamp battles for it there. Now it's knocked loose. High off the glass, into the stands. Face out to the right of Freihaufer. 35 seconds left on the clock. Palmer in still for the faceoff. He's got Molenkamp to his left. He's got Molenkamp to my left. It's his right. Troush behind the net. He's going to try and muck it for 30 seconds. That might not work. Squirts out. Kick to the corner. Molenkamp now hard off the glass. Held in by Cedar Rapids at the blue line. Puck kicked to the corner by Freihaufer. Wrapped around behind the net. Tries to throw it out in front. Bouncing puck. Collected by Fugger. Now it's forced all the way back to the Cedar Rapids blue line. They'll regroup in their own defensive zone. Works it forward. Elliot Troush shot. Knocked down at center ice. Cedar Rapids now tries to send it back in, and that'll do it.
And that'll do it.
Cedar Rapids, final score. Dubuque Saints 4. Cedar Rapids Riders 2. Shots on goal ended with Dubuque 29. And Rapids by 12. Take a break here, clean the ice. Actually, we'll have varsity warm-ups first, then we'll clean the ice. See you back for the varsity game. I am Connor's dad saying if you can find a rink, you can find a friend.